The new Canadian investor in the Nashville Predators believes the NHL team is exactly where it belongs.
Wilson still has a few speculative oil and gas investments. He is the largest owner and chairman of Foreign Energy, an Alberta Wildcatter, and Lightstream Resources.
Some believe that the Calgary businessman goes too far in dabbling in unverified news stories.
Donation from former Dragons Den star Brett Wilson puts Calgary in an ethical pickle.
There are rumblings that Wilson has amassed a fortune of over $1 billion, and now we know some of that cash is going into the cannabis industry.
Real housewife Mary Zilba is dating billionaire former Dragon Brett Wilson.
Former Dragon's Den star W. Brett Wilson tweets that his cancer is back.
She said 2 o'clock, right?
Yeah, that's what I have in my calendar.
Hey guys, sorry for the delay. I was just on a call with Brett.
It's no problem. Thanks for joining us.
We won't keep you long. We're just sorting out the details for the shoot and wanted to get a sense of accessibility. How does he feel about us following him around for a few days?
Well, his schedule is a bit crazy with some health stuff and family, but I will see what we can do.
Does he go back to North Battleford often? Because it would be great to see where he grew up.
Yes, we can get him to North Battleford. He loves it there. We will fly in, but please don't show his plane.
Test drive, test drive, test drive. Hello, hello, hello. There's 1,456 unread voice messages.
Voice messages?
Yeah, that's what's been left that I haven't even looked at. Because I don't look at them. I don't care.
So who does look at them? How do you
Nobody.
get to them? Never.
No. If you don't call me twice, you're not going to get a hold of me. If you don't copy Caitlin on an email, you might not hear from me. My dad sold cars. My mom was a social worker. And I make fun of the fact that that's why I'm a capitalist with a heart. So this is the family home. I still remember my dad organizing, bringing this stone in. It was huge. It was a big deal at the time. I could tell you at one time, every single family on this whole block, right from one end to the other, that was just the nature of how we were raised. We lived in a community, and I still remember describing North Battleford as half Polish, half French, half English, half Scottish, half Irish, half Ukrainian, half Russian. It was a mixture, and we just never judged in any way or time that I can remember. It was just, everyone was equal, and you went to school together and you did things together.
She's right there watching us.
Hello.
Hi. You're home again, are you?
Just for an hour or a few minutes. I'm Brett to say hello, and you are?
You don't have to tell me who you are.
Yeah, but who are you?
Oh, Rita.
Pleasure. I mowed that front lawn a few times too. While I was telling the story, I learned how to play hockey right here. And you could also bumper ski, because if you slowed the cars down, you could then hook onto the bumper and keep going another block. That was the real fun. Anyway, thanks for saying hello. Thank you. The reason I am who I am for 16 years of my life is the Battlefords. Really? I still remember playing soccer out there, getting hit in the head with a ball on the side of my head, knocked me right down. Hello, 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 hello. Yo, dude. Let him go. Hi. I left the Battlefords as quickly as I could when I was finished high school. I was young and heading off to the big city, and it was, don't look back. Don't look back until 30 years later when I realized how important this city was, and I just never fully appreciated how much the Battlefords as a collective meant to me in that regard. Hello.
Well, in the last year or so, some of the dollars that you've donated towards our school to help with classrooms have actually been routed into this project.
I watch my parents work on charities all the time. And the charity and community work that we're doing on an ongoing basis, it's all focused on the Battlefords. Brady's been on my to give list for a long time. We might fund a few more. High school's on the other side of town. Around the corner here, there's a house that was my first investment. 4 of us each put up $500 and we borrowed $18,000. I learned how to do remote property maintenance. I learned to take out 2 of my partners who didn't want to have anything to do with actually making this thing work. And we lost money ultimately. It was a tough one. So I did grades 10, 11, and 12 here. Getting away was a good thing. University was challenging because I still remember my first day in the engineering school. Mostly guys, and they're nerds. Their shoelaces are broken, their glasses are taped, their shirts are dirty. But I can also say it was the first time I fit in, truly fit in my life, because these were my people.
Totally.
Very much. This end of the building was entirely education, and this side was all trades, which ultimately influenced my outcome as an entrepreneur, because there's so much of this stuff. I'm not afraid of the welder, I'm not afraid of the carpenter, I'm not afraid of the electrician, because they were an integral part of how I was raised. And a lot of kids who are academic had no interest in the trades. I lived in this side as much as I could, because there was fixing and repairing and breaking and all sorts of fun stuff.
Hi, Jennifer.
Jennifer, right. And you found an old yearbook, I take it? Wow. Look at the mess of hair on that little guy. And now he's just coming back. Used to be to the sides. Every single one of these people I remember. It's kind of bizarre. You know the name John Gormley? Yeah, I went to high school with John. And I still remember being backstage as he was doing one of his plays. Hello, hello. Dancing. Oh, there's still space for me. All right. Hello.
What a day, hey? Like a legend rolls by here from the community, and
No, a chubby old guy who used to live here. That's all.
no one's gonna miss you with this rocking this. We could see you a mile away. This is great. I'm a professor at the University of Alberta. Oh. Yeah, and from Montreal Lake Cree Nation.
The only thing I add is that no matter what you study post school, whether it's a trade or to be a dental assistant or to be a dentist or to go to engineering, it doesn't matter. I always celebrate the spirit of entrepreneurship, because that's what you can do no matter what your training is. Here we are, 1, 2.
One of my favorite terms that I use, and for the last decade now, is I love to mingle. And I use the word mingle as a stepping point for engagement. You just never know where it's going to get interesting.
Keep on leveling up.
Did you shoot a moose?
Yep.
Wow. I'll take that. How big moose?
Pretty big one. It was a calf, but it's big fat.
A big calf?
Yeah.
I know where Hafford is.
Yes.
I used to haul bales just south of Hafford.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Towards Mayfair, all that.
Going anywhere with Brett, you have to tack on 3 times the amount it would take a normal person to speak to everyone and see everything, because he actually is excited. He loves to talk to everyone, and he will answer every question that anyone has. You have him on like a normal day. He can amp it up even.
Okay, so we'll make sure to spend a solid day with him in North Battleford, let him take us around, but we'll have to break for lunch somewhere in the middle.
KFC.
Sorry?
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Really?
3-piece, all white, gravy and fries, whatever, you know. All white, 3-piece, gravy, fries. It was a big treat when on a Sunday night the family could afford to do Kentucky Fried Chicken. KFC, but more importantly, this KFC, it was owned by a close family friend, the Sparrows in the Battlefords. And an integral part of living was knowing that a local businessman who was a farmer and owned a garbage truck business and was a senator could do everything. Hello, team. Thanks for lunch.
Yeah,
That was awesome. Yeah. No,
Chocolate then, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
maybe.
Oh, you
Yeah. Long time ago.
yeah.
Okay.
So are you hugging me or not?
Yeah.
All righty. Take care.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Thanks again. Appreciate the all-white chickens.
Everyone here knows you and wants to say hi. What is that like?
It's amusing. It's entertaining. It's appreciated. I have been doing a lot of work in terms of the Battlefords in the last 15 years. My son's played an active role in that. And I have a team of 3 or 4 that are here regularly. So we just saw the Battlefords as an opportunity to share. Besides being born here, was the fact that my mom was dying of cancer, and we were in the room with her. This is 1997. And unfortunately, her mother also came to the hospital. And so mother and daughter both died the same hour, same hospital, same day. So it's pretty hard on the family, very hard on the family. You know, being able to even talk about it now is thanks to therapy, because it wasn't easy. The care we got in the Battlefords Union Hospital was instrumental in my first major donation to anyone, which was, you know, funds to help with new X-ray equipment for the intake. It didn't really matter. It was just I wanted to help out. And then over time, we started to do more and more and more.
But you had your sights set beyond North Battleford.
So I did my engineering degree. Very little about entrepreneurship, very little about business. For me, getting out of town was a priority. I tell you, when I left North Battleford for Saskatoon, left Saskatoon for Calgary, I wasn't coming back.
Our plan is to go to Calgary and film Brett in his element, but what we would really love to do is a sit-down interview with him in his house. How would he feel about that?
He can be pretty private about his personal space. I'm not sure how he'd feel about having the crew at his home.
Moving to Calgary came as a result of going to Edmonton first. I spent a couple of years there. I was with Imperial Oil, and I got married. My wife was an engineer. We just fit in and did our things together. Hi, how are you? Sorry, that's just the dog. That's Buffy. And Buffy is short for Buffalo, not Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You fit, well, fuck. Put your tongue somewhere else. All right, so Buffy, what the fuck are we waiting for? Oh, sorry, it's you guys. It's not Buffy. Calgary was an enigma for me when I decided to do my business degree, because I went up to the university and I met with the 2 women who were running admissions for the MBA program, the business program. And they asked me if I'd written my GMAT, which is an entrance exam. I said, no. They said, have you got 5 years work experience? I said, no. And they basically said, then we're not even going to give you the application form. You're out. You're not in. You're out. Well, I went downstairs and I pulled out a quarter. And people in this room may remember that you used to use a quarter to make a phone call. I got on the phone. I actually called the office of the dean of the business school. Who was he? He was a guy named Mike Maher. Mike Maher grew up in a place called the Battlefords. Mike Maher was the dean of the School of Business at the University of Saskatchewan. And his assistant said, we'll give you 5 minutes. That's it. It was the original Dragon's Den pitch. And he said, all right, I'm going to let you in on a probationary basis. So I took a number of classes that really, there might have been a seed planted in earlier days relative to entrepreneurship, but I didn't really think about it as something I wanted to do. I worked for a big oil company. I was going to work for a big whatever company. I didn't think about starting my own. That just wasn't my space. But as I started to do my MBA, I started doing courses and classes that really, really, if you will, watered the seed that was planted at some point. Goodbye.
Good morning, Brett.
Huh. What's for lunch?
Mashed potatoes, meatloaf, and green beans.
Green beans?
I know.
Oh, how can you do that to me?
We have to have them once a year.
But I had green beans yesterday.
No.
Okay, I don't eat green beans, whatever. We'll be fine. My mom loved green beans, so. But I already had meatloaf for breakfast, so you do what you want.
I was sort of forced into an entrepreneurial experience because I didn't want to go back and work for the big investment bank, and I didn't know where I wanted to be otherwise, so I started my own. And I spent 2 years brokering oil and gas properties, just like a realtor would broker a building.
John G., any word from BDP? Nothing yet. That's odd. Okay.
Then I partnered with some friends and we started First Energy.
Hello, hello.
When I started my role as an entrepreneur, quite frankly, it was to figure out how to pay the bills. You know, I didn't have a big dream. I had a very functional dream. How are we going to cover the costs? I had a mortgage, a wife who was looking after 3 kids, and I had 3 kids.
Well, let's bring it back when you can.
My first year running Wilson Mackey, as we called it, I made just above minimum wage. In fact, I remember sitting with my accountant and she looked at us and said, "Why are you guys doing this?" We'd made so little. In other words, she made more working for us than we did owning the business. Well, why? Because the next year looked pretty damn good. Have you seen our boardroom?
No, not yet.
You want to go for a quick walk? Let's go.
There we go. Every piece of art in here is from Saskatchewan. One of the most interesting pieces of art that I own is actually this Illingworth Kerr, probably the most valuable piece I own by far. The sculpture, Joe Fafard. This is Anglin Lake up near Prince Albert. And you know what's interesting about Anglin Lake? It was the first lake I ever canoed across as a Boy Scout. These two, the top 2 pieces of Ernie Lindner's, are a collection of 8. The other 6 are all in national museums. I managed to outbid the museums on these 2. So here we are. I wanted them. And now, an entertaining, interesting room. So everything in here is Henderson, Kenderdine, Lindner, and Loveroff. Those are the 4 that probably represent everything that's in here. Quite frankly, we've ended the collection because I'm out of wall. I have no more walls. They're full. Everything that can hold a piece of art. And
Right there.
my core businesses are farmland in Saskatchewan and then real estate in a place called Kelowna. Power plants that we're building. We built one, we're building another in Alberta. I live and breathe our next electrical plant.
Some sports?
Oh yeah, Nashville Predators. I own a piece of them. Fun story if you're interested in the Predators. And I'm sitting, and randomly beside me is a very handsome young man. And his name is DeWitt. And we're talking a bit about hockey because I'm Canadian. It comes up fairly quickly. I shared that I'd actually tried to reach out to Jim Balsillie, Canadian who was trying to move the club. The guy looks at me and says, "So, are you still interested in buying into the Preds?" And I kind of, yeah, I mean, why? And he said, "Well, my family's part of the new ownership group, and someone dropped out of the group this morning. Would you like his spot?" I went, "Well, yeah, I would." 4 hours, Nashville. I bought into the Preds.
I haven't even asked Brett for permission, but if he gives me permission, I will be back.
Nashville's been a pretty interesting place. Everything I do there, I do with Brett Kissel. And I like his first name because it matches nicely. So we call them Brett Brett. There's Brett Brett Build when we go to Mexico. There's Brett Brett Boat when we do the only and the largest boat concert in Canada out of my cabin.
Lunch is ready!
Whoa! All right, let's go. Buffy, lunchtime. Let's go. Where's the ketchup? Dawn, where's the ketchup? I love your gravy, but we need ketchup. Ketchup's a core asset. Beans are optional, especially when you got carrots on the plate.
I get to work with my mom. She's our chef at the office.
It is the best thing to get a job when you're 60, to be able to work with your daughter and such nice people in such a great place.
Oh.
There, my mom cooked me an entire box of chocolate chip cookies and shipped them to me.
Anybody you ask who works here is so grateful to be on Brett's team. And once you're in, you will not leave.
My bags are packed.
Guarantee that you're stuck with us.
The flip side is I'm so grateful that they're on the team. So it's a mutual win-win.
That's my favorite story.
Like the whole box. It was a big box.
All right, Dragon's Den. People will want to hear about that experience for sure.
Did you end up getting the clearance for the Dragon's Den footage?
It was going to cost a ton of money to get even a 5-second clip, so we're just gonna have to get creative.
So put your money in your mouth and your hands right up on the wheel.
I went to Toronto and they had 4 of us and I got interviewed. I finished the day and they said, look, we'd love to have you as the next dragon. You're just not mean enough. And I said, if mean means being a prick on the show, I'm not interested. But if you ever want a dragon who's there to do deals, let me know. And they said, give us the reasons that we should engage with you and not someone else. So I wrote them the top 10 reasons to work with Brett. The one that I wrote that got the most attention was I said, it takes a combination of balls, brains, and a wallet to do deals. And then I said, and you appear to be somewhat short of all 3 on the show at this time. What I meant was cash, courage, and commitment. And you can play with either. But the real point is in order to do deals, and when I said balls, you have to have the courage to step up and participate in an early stage deal. You have to have the money. Why bother if you're not there? And commitment. Are you going to stay the course? Are you going to work with that person and help them build their brand? I did 60 deals on air, closed 30 of them. Took a while to get things sorted. But of the handful that are still alive, the only 2 that are of substance, Saskatchewan. 1 in Regina, 1 in Saskatoon. Can I help you? Oh, just a minute. This is Saskatoon. Welcome.
Here? Well, you guys can just go play on the beach.
Okay.
Yeah. You just go play on the beach for a few
You know
minutes.
what? New plan. Do you know there's a boat out there?
Yeah.
A big pontoon boat. It's really safe and really fun. And 2 of the guys that work with me are willing to take you guys on a big boat ride right now. You want to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would love to.
Here, Harry, see if this fits you.
Hey guys, have a good time. We're gonna go talk about some business, okay? Great, have fun, guys.
So I walk out and I see this shipping container, and then, all right, I know where this is going. But the fun fact that you may recall is Kevin and Robert, within minutes of you guys disclosing that you're from Saskatchewan, they're both looking at me going, Brett, it's yours. There's about 40 separate buildings here.
Yeah, it's about 40,000 square feet or so.
Yeah. The row of small ones, they all share common washroom.
The other thing we want to show you, because we know you couldn't make the grand opening, so we wanted to do a little virtual tour of the office.
Just a minute, this is our office?
This is our office.
Oh.
One of the cool things too that we did, we've thread some of the most influential people in our lives. So
you're getting to me.
So, and it's got a bit of a Brett vibe in here. This is going to be our canvas for Saskatchewan art. So this was the Wilson room. So you'll get to come hang out in there when you come visit.
Not surprised at where we're at, and I'm, to be blunt, really pleased, really proud that I'm part of this.
Yeah.
And you guys should be proud of what you've accomplished here.
And I just think it's so cool that we're here.
Yep.
Working.
Yeah, there's family on the lake.
Yeah.
Coming in.
Come on in. I don't hesitate to talk about how important it is to balance the success you're enjoying in the office with the most important success in life, happiness. In your case, our case, family happiness.
And we've taken that real seriously, and we've built this business around our families and prioritizing that.
3, 2, 1, go!
The bottom line is you can't buy back time. And I put a lot of time into building my career, into helping round out the experiences at First Energy. And that got me to a point where I was there virtually every night. And when I say virtually, I mean in a month, all but 1 or 2. So I was stuck at home one night. That starts the story. I was stuck at home. And I was waiting for a phone call because I was going to buy a particular piece of art. That piece of art was critical to my life. The phone rang a number of times, and one of my kids answered it each time and dealt with it. No big deal. Finally, as I'm thinking, this piece must be up right away, I phoned the auction house and said, Peggy, where are you at with this particular piece? And yes, it was an Ernie Lindner, my Saskatchewan art collection. And she said, Brett, we sold it about 5 minutes ago. And she said, I called you 3 times. And she said, your daughter said you weren't home. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go up and have a little chat with my daughter. Opened the door, and she was lying in bed. Homework, crayons, color, whatever. And I said to her, the fuck are you doing telling someone I'm not home? And she looked at me and said, because you never are. And that was the moment. That was the moment where I fully appreciated the mistake I was making. Until she hit me right between the eyes. It wasn't much longer, like a month later, I ended up in this, call it addiction treatment or health treatment program, whatever you want to call it. And it was eye-opening. And again, as simple as I put it, I reprioritized my life. Wealth, travel, deals, art, cars, house. And my priorities then evolved very simply. Health. And I talk about my health, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, sexual, everything about your health is your priority, because without your health, you've got nothing to offer the next priority. What's the next priority? Family. Family, my relationships are imperfect, but I work hard on them. After family, friends. After friends, the way I phrased the next part of my life, priorities was, first of all, education. What do you learn? Whether you're a trade, or you're working for someone who's a close friend, or you're going to university, it doesn't matter. How did you get educated? Number 5 is, how do you pay the bills? What is it that your career unfolds? What do you do? And number 6 is community. So there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, health. 2, family. 3, friends. 4, education. 5, career. Again, whatever you describe your work environment to be. And number 6 is community. And I actually fundamentally believe that everyone in this world is better off. Health, family, friends, education, career, and community. That group of 6 is the best way of packaging, if you will, the priorities for everyone. I don't care who you are. Those priorities rank properly. And that's a huge part of why I challenge people as they think about their overtime patterns. Be careful. Challenge the reality of how much time does your job really need versus how much time does your family deserve. And I lost 10 years that I can't get back. So at this point in my life, 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. They all have husbands. I'm stupidly in love with all of the husbands. I tend to spend an awful lot of time with all of them. This is me wrestling with a 2-year-old. Trying to play cards, trying to wrestle, trying to chew on a stick at the same time. This is probably one of the highlights of my life. I'll start over. Hey Kyle, can I call you back in about an hour? Or is anything urgent? I saw that. All right, and good luck. I'm reachable later if you need me. All right, ciao. All right, bye. Sorry, there's very few phone calls that interrupt, and that was my power company. It's pretty important. We may be permitting. In terms of what we know to be the way the world's unfolding. So.
Hold on, can I move that piece of hair?
No, just leave me alone. I mean, we're going, don't we have work? It's fine. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Wait.
As long as you're videoing all this madness.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's get serious. Let's talk about your health journey.
Well, I was diagnosed with cancer about a year after I ended up divorcing. The chance to go and get treated became a priority. My urinary tract, my bladder complex, and my foot, my leg, have both separately but simultaneously suffered from, call it, the side effects of radiation. And so I can tell you that half of 2022 couldn't have gone fast enough. All of 2023 had to go. It just was a really tough year. I didn't travel, I didn't engage. I've never been, again, I'll be really blunt on air, I've never been suicidal, but there was many mornings last year where I didn't want to get up. And that left me wondering, like, what the hell's the purpose of being alive? Well, all right, fine. I got up and away I went. And then the day began. But it was a slow start and it was a difficult start. And quite frankly, today, I don't like how my foot feels. I don't like my kidneys, but I like my brain. So we're fine. We're going to keep working through this.
That's enough.
One more. 3. Yay!
Thanks, bye.
You know, my business career went sideways for a month, but that's all it was. I ended up staying as a partner with First Energy for 13 years. But no, I pulled the pin when I turned 50 and started to look after my own businesses, the investments I'd made. There was all sorts of things.
How many different investments do you think you had?
Hundreds.
Hundreds?
Several hundred.
Well, I'm pretty proud of being a participant in helping bring this restaurant together. It's one of the most unique restaurants in all of Canada. We call it the rooftop because it's on a roof and it's the top.
But the goal over the next several years, and has been for the last 5 years, is to shrink the number. There was more than 50 in cannabis alone. We're down to 5 or 6.
Kind of a fun fact, the bars, and if you swing back and look at the kitchen and the dishes and the stage, everything was brought to us by 320. We just dropped them in place and then added some liquor.
So would you say that you're happy? I know you might have some past life regrets, but are you happy today?
Yeah, I'd say I'm happy.
And how do you feel about this experience, having this crew follow you around, documenting your life and your past?
I've done a couple of smaller versions of this, but no, this is by far the most engaging that it's ever been. Tougher questions, more questions. More cameras, more dog, more everything. There's more than a few friends wondering what the end result will be.
Yo, it's Brett Wilson, you know the name. Canadian mogul in the business game. Started from the bottom, now he's on top. Entrepreneurial spirit never gonna stop. From Dragon's Den, making deals fly. Visionary mind, reaching for the sky. The land of his heart, giving back strong. With Brett in the game, you can't go wrong. Brett Wilson, making waves in the business world. He paves the way with a heart of gold and a mind so sharp. He's a true icon, leaving his mark. Hustling hard every single day. Brett's on a mission, he's here to stay. Inspiring millions. he's blazing away. Hustling hard every single day, Brett's on a mission, he's here to stay. Inspiring millions, showing the way. With passion and purpose, he's blazing away. Brett Wilson, making waves in the